Hi guys, I'm here to talk about my week 1 Rozeta CAL progress. If you've been watching my other videos, you'll know that I'm doing the Colour Crafter Twilight version. So yeah, week 1 was released last week on the 9th of October, which is the Wednesday. And it's 14 rows. I'm just looking at it because it's there. It's 14 rows and it's already making a huge impact. So I'm just going to show you what I've done and then talk about a few tools and stuff that I've found to make my life easier. So we've got, this is the 14 rows. It's tapestry crochet, and as you can see the bag, I've just got some ends to sew in. But yeah, it's supposed to measure 12 inches at this point, and mine, well, for the Colour Crafter version, let me just check what our tribe is. Our tribe is slightly smaller. It's about 10.6 inches, which is 27 centimetres. So mine is spot on for the Colour Crafter. As you can see, it's very pretty. I'm very happy with it. I love this yarn. It's really nice and soft and tactile and just lovely. So I like to use centre pull yarn cakes, and one of my biggest annoyances is when they collapse in when you've taken too much out the middle. So I was doing some research online and I found that people actually make this thing called yarn sleeves. Basically just use jersey fabric for some good stretch and yeah, just make like a little cuff type thing. I didn't feel like doing that last week at all, so I was looking online and I found somebody said that if you get a pair of tights with some decent elasticity and cut it into tubes, that you can do it like that. Oh, I'm just got to pause the video quick. Sorry about that. So yeah, so I read that if you got a pair of tights and you could cut it into tubes and then use that. So I thought, do you know what, I'll give it a go, because you're supposed to weigh your yarn through this as well to make sure you're using the right amounts. So yeah, it looks a bit strange, does the job. It is holding it nicely. If nothing else, it'll stop it getting tangled, because the scales I've got this like little tiny portable digital scale. You just take this front bit off and then you've got that. And so what I do is I put it on its side because there's just not enough room there for it to be flat, and that's really handy. And I'm just recording how much the yarn weighs at the beginning with the sleeve on. It's important that you don't chop and change sleeves because they could weigh different. So like this sleeve will stay on this ball until this ball's finished. I found that I could get 3 or 4 sleeves out of each leg of a tight, so you get like between 6 and 8. I've doubled it over so that it has more strength, so it will hold it a bit tighter. I don't know, I just thought it was a good idea. So yeah, that was one thing. What I'm doing is at the beginning of each week I'm weighing whatever ball I need to use, and then at the end of each week I'm writing what they weigh, obviously when I'm done. So the other tool that I found really useful, because obviously I'm using navy yarn for the most part, and we all know navy's a bit, navy, black and all those are a bit difficult to use. So I found this nifty U-shaped light. You just like hook it around your neck and then you can bend these. They're sturdy, but they're easy to manipulate. So each one's got individual, I'm going to point it away so you can see how bright they are. That's one setting, that's the next setting, and then that's it with both. So they're very bright, but it's got this like non-slip pad at the back, which is handy. And yeah, you can just like literally manipulate it to have it pointing where you want it into the yarn, and then it just stays there. It's really handy. I imagine it'd be really handy for the midnight as well. But it's rechargeable, and as you saw, each light is independent. So I find that I mainly use just one on the one click. So it's not, because it's got a headlight and a spotlight. So it's got one that's The second click is a lot brighter, but it's more concentrated, whereas the first click is kind of more distributed, I guess. The other thing I found really handy is my crochet project Bible from Stationery Geek. So it's a handy little A5 book, so you can record all the details of your project. And then on the other side, it's got a gridded bit. So as you can see, it's got 14 rows, and I have got a bit sad. I'm counting the stitches. It's like in this one section of week 1, there is 1,308 stitches as according to the pattern. So I just think it's quite interesting to see how many stitches a project ends on. I don't know if that's weird or what, but I enjoy it. There is, yes, I'm just going to keep doing that, and I'll keep telling you, and then at the end I'll have a total. The other thing I found good to do is, because there's 7 different yarns, yeah, 7 different yarns, and what I've decided, they've each been allocated a letter. So what I've decided to do to make that more easy for myself is, when I cut a bit of the label off and wrote the letter on it, and then when I'm not using that ball, this is for the navy, whoops, when I'm not using that ball, I just tuck it in there, and then I'll know when I go to check it again what ball I need. So yeah, that's good. I've worked mainly off the pattern. I haven't used Esther's videos, but I know a lot of people have in the group, and I know a lot of people find them really good. So I will check them out if I get stuck, or if I want a tip on how to do something better, because Esther's really good with that. But this is the pattern. It's really pretty. I think this one's 6 pages, 4 pages, even less. So yeah, what I did was I just weighed my yarn at the beginning and wrote a note next to where it tells you how much you should have used, or you should use, and then on the last page I wrote how much it weighed at the end and all that stuff. So the good thing, I didn't want to cross out the rows and everything on my pattern, so that's another reason why the crochet Bible is so handy. I do love it. It's a great little thing. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a link in the box below, in the description. That's the word. And basically it should give you 10% off your order if it's your first order of stationery. I think it gives me some store credit. I'm not 100% sure. I will verify that in the description. It's not like affiliate, it's like a referral. It's just like a friend referral type thing. So I'll put the links below for the neckline. And so, oh yes, the neckline, the videos from Esther, the Facebook groups and all that stuff. Scheepjes have announced some new colourways. So both Our Tribe and Colour Crafter. I think one of them is Colour Crafter only, but I can't remember which one. So you've got Winter Twilight, which seems to be kind of like a recreation of the Twilight colourway, but with darker colours maybe. Witching Hour looks amazing. And then you've got High Noon, which looks quite cool as well. So they're all Simi's choices of yarn. If you were looking at kits but none of them quite took your fancy, definitely go and have a look at the new ones, because they are gorgeous too. It's so very tempting, I'm not gonna lie. I do love some Scheepjes, but yeah. So I will be back next week with a week 2 progress video, and yeah, hopefully I won't hit any snags, but if I do, you'll know about it. So thanks for watching, guys.